I've always told my kids, it is all in the details. Everything you do, take it one step further, and it makes it even better, and it becomes the unexpected.
Hi, I'm Grant.
And I'm JoAnnie.
And this is our handmade schoolhouse in Knoxville, Tennessee.
I'm from South Knoxville.
I was born in Oak Ridge, but been in Knoxville basically my whole life.
We dated off and on all through high school. And then when we went to the university, we decided, yeah, this is it. So we've been married for, I have to think, is it 41 years?
Yeah, I know. We've been together 45 years, at whatever capacity. When we first got married, we lived not far from here. And for some reason, one day we saw somebody up here and we just stopped in and said, would you all sell the place?
He said, oh, my dad will sell anything.
It was totally dilapidated. Every window was busted, roof falling in. Everything was just full of trash.
This originally was the Klondike School building. The neighbors have been so cool because they went to school here and they would tell stories of the window that they broke when they were playing ball or where they got their first kiss.
We've had a couple of graduating classes that have called and said, can we have a reunion there? And so we pretty much open it up when people want to look around, as long as they look legit.
When people walk through the door, usually it's a wow.
We'll have people come in and sometimes we barely know them, so yeah, just walk around.
And they'll just look, and then the questions start.
This is our living space. This was part of the original two-room 1910 schoolhouse. Some years back, we added an elevated platform just for living space, just to separate the room, give some interest. So we added this fireplace some 25 years ago, just because that is our main living space and we enjoy fires so much.
We truly live in this space. We watch a lot of television, a lot of movies, we play cards, we play board games. When the kids come over, this is where we hang out. We spent a lot of time during COVID creating the dollhouse that was our daughter's that never got finished.
It sat down in the basement for 30 years and we flirted with throwing it away, but we just couldn't. And when COVID hit, we needed, like everybody, something to do. So we said, well, let's renovate the dollhouse. And it really was fun because as an architect and a teacher, we didn't want to go buy dollhouse pieces. So we either made or transformed things.
Right.
And probably one of the neatest things was JoAnnie came up with it, a lid on coffee creamer. When you take it off and set it down, it's got a lid that pops up and it looks like a commode. So that's the commode in the dollhouse. So those were the types of things that we just spent hours trying to do and look for while we were locked up for 2 years.
Travel has really influenced us with our colors and different things we want to incorporate into our living space. We have modern, we have boho, we have a lot of African things. We have our camel collection inspired by our camel trek in Morocco. I believe that a collection of things needs to live together to make it look like a collection. I've always loved globes. Maybe it's from my teaching years, but always on the lookout for a new globe to add to the collection.
We just wanted this to be a big, open, inviting space. So we actually just flowed this into what is the kitchen and dining area. We have an existing wall we took out to bring light in and to make this even more open and inviting for where we live and spend most all of our time.
I have really treated the hallway like a hallway in a school. When we travel, we take a lot of pictures, and I was looking for a way to display those a little differently. And so that's all the time changing.
And our kids would rollerblade, roller skate, tricycle, bicycle up and down the halls. It's always been a play space, if you will.
The floors are kind of rough. There are dog scratches where they've stopped, and I wouldn't take those out for anything. This is our Hilton. It is misspelled on purpose. Come on in, I'll show you around. We love to visit New York City, and we kind of wanted to have that vibe but yet work in here. So we created our faux New York City skyline out of wood. The Hilton, because it is surrounded by hills that are gorgeous out here. And there's not as much color in here because we didn't want to overwhelm our guests. But that really started out as our nursery, and it became Owen's nursery, then Owen's bedroom, and then it became Wallace's nursery and Wallace's bedroom. And they were not very happy when we changed it over.
The day after they left.
Yeah. They're gone, let's fix it up.
Throw it out.
I taught in a school for years that was a happy environment, and things were everywhere. There were always colorful pieces of art and works of the kids, and so I just thought, well, we need to do it that way here. So we have lots of pictures from places that we have traveled, and one of the things that I really like is my book tree that I had seen on Pinterest, and we went to an estate sale, and they had tons of books. They were not really books that you would want to read, so I thought these would be perfect to give them another life. It stays up all the time, but we have lights on it at Christmas, and we'll put hearts on it at Valentine's Day and birds on it during the spring and summer, and it's just been a really fun addition. And besides, every school has to have a lot of books.
Now we can go into the principal's office.
Olive, come here. Crazy girl.
This is the bedroom, and we wanted a loft type feel. We built a platform up for the bed just so that we could have a little variety in here and have a little interest.
The clock is one of my favorite things in here because Grant has always said, if you're 5 minutes early, you're late. So I found this clock, and I wanted it for his office, and it didn't fit. But that's okay, because we ended up putting it in here, and I think it's perfect in here. It does work, but it's loud.
It came out of an abandoned mall down in Florida.
Down in Florida,
somehow made its way up to Knoxville.
If we ever have a fire or anything ever happens, our books back behind me here are the one thing that you're supposed to grab. We've been writing books together for years. We are on book number 22, I think now. You'd love to get them out and read them, see some of the crazy things that went on. Unfortunately, we didn't do it when we were renovating. It was kind of the beginning of our modern phase we went through, and now we're probably adding more to it to make it more of the boho feel that we seem to be comfortable with. Our bed is on rollers, which has been kind of cool. When it snows, we like to turn the bed around and watch the snowflakes come around. Now I want to take you to my favorite room in the house. It's my closet. It's odd to say that a closet's your favorite in your house, but this is really one of my favorites. Totally me, way too many clothes. So I had all my clothes on the white clothes hangers, and I thought, those just don't really work. And Mom's was all the time looking for something to do. So I ripped the fabrics up into pieces, and I showed her, and we worked on them, how I wanted them wrapped around the coat hangers, and then we would take yarn and go over top of that. My mother did about 200 of those. Every piece of clothing in my closet is one that my mom and her caretaker helped to cover for me, and they are priceless to me. Also, one of my favorite things in here is my pair of lips that Grant and I made from the barnwood on the barn next to us. I went down to my neighbor one day and I asked him what he was going to do with this barnwood, and he said, I don't know, do you want some? And it was like, yes, sure, I want some. He said, what are you going to do with it? And I said, would you please just trust me and let me show you when it's finished? And so we had them hung up, and I went to get him one day and I said, here's your barnwood. And he was like, I never would have thought that's what you were going to do. But he was so proud of the lips. I'm always interested in what they seem to go through first. And there's really nothing that everyone seems to go to other than the bus. They like the bus. We have a lot of bus owners in the neighborhood, so I hopped in the car with the neighbor. We went down to the bus guy, and I told him what I was wanting. He said, "You don't care if it has an engine?" "No, I don't want an engine in it." He said, "Well, yeah, if you want one." We got back in the car, and the neighbor went, "What the hell just happened?" I said, "I just bought a bus." It has a reading area. We have a table and 2 of the original seats that we play cards. People hang out in it and parties. It's great in the rain. It's just kind of cool.
The bus doesn't have an engine intentionally, and when you lift the grill up, the front grill up off of the bus, we pull our grill out to grill. So that was,
Yeah.
We've enjoyed that. A lot of people do like that because
Yeah.
it's just pretty unique.
If you come to our house, you have to sign our bus. And we have had a lot of signatures. The bus has only been out there for about 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, something like that.
And it already has a lot of signatures that are special.
This place is our lives. I mean, we've been here 40 years, and you know, again, just because we did the work ourselves, we never
Yeah.
could let go. So
No, it does mean everything.
yeah. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up.
And subscribe to Handmade for more tours like this.